di alcuni musicisti che, sapendo che c'era Tim, amici di Tim, hanno deciso di fare qualcosa insieme, ma lo vedremo. Presento un attimino, no, prima una cosa, vi ho mandato, per chi riesce ad aprire, i testi di Tim Grimm degli ultimi 2 dischi. Tim annuncerà le canzoni, di modo che chi vuole, chi può, chi lo apre, può seguirli. Chiaramente chi è poliglotta inglese non ha questa necessità. Avrò il compito di tradurre, questa è la parte dura della serata, ma volevo, tradurre quello che dice Tim, volevo presentarvi un attimo Tim. Allora, Tim Grimm era già venuto a Concorrezzo nel 2019, aveva dormito dalla Daniela. Daniela è venuto già a Concorrezzo 4 anni fa con Bad Bedford e ha voluto ritornare a Concorrezzo in una location che non si aspettava, no? Tim Grimm, ricordo, è stato la prima parte della sua carriera attore, ha recitato in film, se avete in vari film, tra cui Sotto il segno del pericolo con Harrison Ford. Dopodiché ha avuto un periodo della sua vita che ha fatto l'agricoltore, infatti sentirete molto nelle sue canzoni l'aspetto rurale, il rapporto con la natura, con le stagioni, eccetera. E è soprattutto un musicista folk, rock per gli intenditori, che si rifà un po' a Johnny Cash, John Prine, Townes Van Zandt, no? Questo genere di musica. E è accompagnato, quindi i suoi dischi, pubblica dischi dal 2020, finiscono tipicamente in America in cima alle classifiche del folk rock, quindi avere qua Tim Grimm è un onore, ed è accompagnato da Sergio Webb, che è un grande chitarrista che ha suonato anche nei dischi di Tim e ha suonato sempre per gli intenditori con David Holney moltissimo. Lui viene dall'Indiana e lui viene dal New Mexico e gli ospiti verranno dall'Italia, per cui è una serata internazionale. Tim Grimm, Sergio Webb.
Waves are We are playing most of our new album, which is called The Little In Between, to start the show tonight.
Suonerà soprattutto dall'ultimo album, The Little In Between, che è il primo che vi ho girato.
I have lived most of my life in Indiana, but in the last 2 years, much upheaval in my personal world, and I have been spending time in Oklahoma. And the album is about the past into the future, which is kind of the meaning of the little in between.
Certo.
Yeah.
Allora, ho vissuto la maggior parte del tempo in Indiana, ma questo disco negli ultimi 2 anni è stato prodotto in Oklahoma, e The Little In Between dice è quel tempo tra il passato e il futuro, quell'attimo.
Perfect.
Vediamo. Mr. Sergio Webb.
Bravo!
Be kind to Sergio Webb. Everywhere we go, people think he's Italian. And they just start talking to him, you know, and he says, no, I'm not. It's my nickname. Someone gave him that name. Maybe he will tell you that story in a little bit about how he became Sergio Webb. His real name is Mark.
Tutti lo scambiano, avete capito? Tutti lo scambiano per italiano perché si chiama Sergio. In realtà c'è, invece non è italiano, Sergio Webb, quindi è un nome suo, c'è una piccola storia su...
Ma si chiama Mark? Si chiama Mark?
Sergio.
No, Mark.
Si chiama... Allora, Sergio o
Sergio
Mark?
è il soprannome.
Non si sa, basta. The song is title.
This song is called I Don't Know This World.
Sempre dei titoli.
Sunshine when it's shining on my face. I don't know these people who won't look me in the eye. I used to tell their stories, now they say it's only lies. I can't see the colors, they go swirling through this world. I used to walk a straight line, now it's only twists and turns. There's no one there tonight inside a house, there was a home. I went driving through the night to be alone. Thought I knew the road ahead, but I missed the curve and went off instead. Now I'm headed for the great unknown. Bare feet, broken glass, and rusty nails. The hands that used to reach for you are covered in barbed wire, and the tongue that held your secrets is angry and on fire. Everyone is compromised, and everything is too. The same can never be again. It's only me and you. There's no one there tonight inside a house, there was a home. I went driving through the night to be alone. I thought I knew the road ahead, but I missed the curve and went off instead. Now I'm headed for the great unknown. Embrace it. Sometimes we drive away. Sometimes the wheels they hold the road. Sometimes it just break free. Sometimes we bleed together in perfect harmony. Sometimes we sit in silence. Sometimes we walk the floor. Sometimes we wander in the pines and shiver to the core. No one there tonight inside a house, there was a home. And I went driving through the night to be alone. I thought I knew the road ahead, but I missed the curve and went off instead. Now I'm headed for the great unknown. sunshine when it's shining on my face. Grazie.
Grazie.
Very good, very good.
Thanks.
We're going to do a little song called Stirring Up Trouble.
Stirring up trouble.
Stirring Up Trouble.
Sempre titoli qui.
And people have asked me, because I wrote a trilogy, I wrote 3 songs over several years about the political situation in America. I wrote a song called Woody's Landlord. I wrote a song called Gonna Be Great. And I wrote a song called Gone. And they all are about, the political struggles in America right now. And this song that I sing now, people ask me, oh, is that another one of those political songs? I said, no, not at all.
It's not part of the trilogy.
No, this is about the personal. My philosophy right now is to walk through life and to interact and deal with and love people who don't judge without judgment and without fear. So that's what this is. Okay?
Riassunto.
That's a lot.
Allora lui ha fatto delle canzoni, perché lui parla molto nelle sue opere precedenti, sulla situazione politica di contrasto negli Stati Uniti, ok? E questa canzone, che parrebbe aggiungersi alla trilogia, in realtà non si aggiunge alla trilogia, ma rappresenta un po' la sua nuova filosofia, che è camminare, ha detto, mi è piaciuto, ma camminare in mezzo alla gente e, come dire, amare la gente e non amare quelli che giudicano senza conoscere, che giudicano prima, ok? E questa è la sua nuova walk through the life. Detto bene, più o meno. C'è qualcosa da aggiungere? Vai, di. Posto.
Anche perché non mi ricordo già più quello.
Gli assunti sono difficili. Vai.
Stirring up trouble like a nest of bees. Stirring up trouble anywhere they please. I'm wearing my black boots, you're wearing your dress. They come looking for us, we'll be looking our best. Stirring up trouble everywhere they go. Stirring up trouble in the rain and snow. Stirring up trouble in the bright sunshine. Gonna get me a fence post with a warning. Anger don't come easy when it comes to me. I can turn a knife, I can turn a cheek, I can turn the table if it gets us down. Baby, you know, new sheriff's in town. Stirring up trouble without a recipe. Stirring up trouble like a can of beans. They've got the cartoons, we've got the facts. They've got the wooden spoon, but I've got the axe. Stirring up trouble like it's all a joke. Stirring up trouble with mirrors and smoke. You get the kerosene, I grab the rope. They think it's a barbecue, but I'm going burrow. Stirring up trouble is such a waste of time. It's a waste waste of theirs and a waste of mine. They think their high horse will treat them fine. He'll leave them stranded with a narrow mind, stirring up trouble. What's she gonna get? Another day older and a mess of regret. They've got their screens and the internet, but I know my way in the wilderness, stirring up trouble like a nest of bees, stirring up trouble anywhere they please. I'm wearing my black boots and you're wearing your dress. They come looking for us, we'll be looking our best. I first met Sergio Webb exactly 20 years ago
Ho incontrato Sergio Webb esattamente 20 anni fa
in Kerrville, Texas, at the Kerrville Folk Festival. And it was my first time there, and I was backstage. They have picnic tables. You could sit waiting to go on. And I saw Sergio there, didn't know him. I recognized the man he was with, David Olney. And I went over and introduced myself, and it was very friendly. And for many years, I also produced and created concerts in Indiana, where I would bring my favorite musicians. And so I invited, soon after, Sergio and David Olney to come. So it's a real circle for me, all these 20 years later, to come back and have Sergio on this tour with me. It's very special to me.
Allora, ho conosciuto Sergio in questo festival texano e mentre lui faceva un picnic si è presentato David Olney, come dicevo prima, con cui suonava Sergio, e gli ha presentato Sergio. Lui ha iniziato a produrre dei dischi di alcuni artisti lì in Indiana, e per cui oggi, dopo 20 anni, è un cerchio che continua a girare, no? E in questo cerchio è riapparso Sergio. Correct.
This, you're not done. You're not done.
Penso che lavorare.
Is he doing a good job? You can understand what he said? Okay, very good. Congratulations. So this next one is called, it's a bit of a funny twist of words. It's called The Breath of Burning.
The breath of burning, il respiro dell'incendio.
And for me, it is the idea of standing outside of the place I lived for so long, outside of the home I built and I loved, in the middle of the winter, looking through the big windows and seeing the fireplace burning and watching someone put the wood into the fireplace, the breath, and then how the fire needs air, how the fire needs to breathe. The breath of burning is what I call this.
Chiaro? Che lui da fuori, no, vede la casa in cui è nato così e vede poi che accende il camino e vede uno che mette la legna, quindi il respiro, no, del fuoco. Quindi questo apparente contrasto.
You burning ash, burning oak, I can see it through the window and the swirling of the smoke. I see the flame, watch it dance. I can hear the breath of burning by the way you move your hands. I know this place, I know this land, and across the dark horizon I have tried to be a man. I built this house, come to know some things are served by helping them, some better paper once said they're yours and mine. The fields we mowed, the hay was made. The wind blew through the open barns when winter came this way. And now it's cold can be, as cold as hearts left all alone like ice that covers trees. You wonder how can this be? Can all of this be not enough? This home, this family, and there goes the stars to fly. The thousand pieces of your heart are broken in the sky. I know this dog, she's a good old girl, and her face has gone from black to gray. Her hips, they bothered her. She walked with me just down the lane. I wonder what you told her if you tried to explain. She's at your side, but not for long. The hardest part of losing things is knowing when they're gone. You're burning ash, burning old. I'm looking in, I'm holding hope. I see the light, watch the fire, and I close my eyes, and I try to smile, and it comes and goes like fireflies. The rich sun sets, and the ties that bind, and the deep regrets on the morning dew. The coyotes cry in the night with you. And now it's cold can be, as cold as hearts left all alone like ice that covers trees. You wonder how can this be? Can all of this be not enough? This home, this family, and there it goes, starts to fly. A thousand pieces of your heart are broken in the sky. And now we do the title track, the little in between. I look at it as the space in time between the past right behind us and what lies right ahead. It's literally that moment, that breath we're taking right now, the little in between. And so I was in Oklahoma, and my little house that I rented in Norman, Oklahoma, had a window seat by the window, and I would sit on that window seat and just think, look. And a friend came in the house, and she looked at me for a minute, and she said, "You look like you're a little in between, between, here and there." So I said, "Wait a minute," and I left the room to the next room, and I got my paper, and I just started to write. Started to write, yeah.
Allora, avete capito, no? Allora, adesso fa la title track, la canzone che dà titolo all'ultimo disco, The Little In Between, che è un po' intraducibile, cioè è quell'attimo, lei dice prima, è quell'attimo che c'è tra il passato e il futuro, quell'attimo minimo, no? Hai detto che questa canzone l'ha scritta, dopodiché lui era seduto alla finestra e stava guardando fuori e arriva un amico, dice mi sembri appunto in quella situazione lì, no? Tra l'attimo prima e l'attimo dopo. Loro sono andato nell'altra stanza e iniziato a scrivere la canzone.
A little before, a little after, not where you're going, not where you've been. It's in the breath that you are holding. It's in the little in between. It's as you lift the brush and as you lift the hammer, there's a little space in time between before and after. It's the toe that touches water as the eagle starts to scream. It's that penny in your pocket that started you to dream. A little before, a little after. It's not where you're going, it's not where you've been. It's in the breath that you are holding. It's in the little in between. My mother came from Illinois, my father came from Indiana. They met on the bluff high above the Ohio River. One of them smiled, one of them saw, one of them reached very far. There was the flight of Cupid's arrow in between, before and after. It's a little before, a little after. Not where you're going, not where you've been. It's in the breath that you are holding. It's in the little in between. There is a space that's like no other. It's between salvation and being torn asunder. It's in between the tears and laughter. It's a little before, a little after. A little before, a little after. Not where you're going, not where you've been. It's in the breath that you are holding. It's in the little in between. It's in the little in between. One of the days that I was thinking about creating these songs, and they all came very quickly. In just 2 or 3 months, I had the album done, which for me is very fast.
Quando ha deciso di creare questo album, mi sono venute subito nel giro di 2 o 3 mesi. Per lui non era usuale, è stato molto veloce.
And I one day was thinking about my father, and I have written a few songs about my father over the years, and this is the first time I've written about my father when he is not here anymore, when he is gone, when he's passed away.
Esatto, ha detto che ha scritto molte molte canzoni su suo padre, no? nel corso degli anni. E l'ultima cosa è che suo padre non c'è più.
È la prima che ha scritto da quando lui non c'è
È la prima che ha scritto da quando non c'è più. Grazie.
And thinking about my father was he was a school teacher. He was a very well-read, very smart man, intellectual, but he also liked to be alone. very much.
Quindi era molto acculturato, e però amava molto rimanere da solo, restare da solo.
He built a house on his own land in the woods, and that's the house that I grew up in. And below the house in the woods, he built a lake, and he was happiest in that place.
Ha costruito una casa solo praticamente nel bosco vicino a un lago, lui era contento quando era giusto.
And at the same time, he was, you know, like our parents, our mothers and fathers, he was a generation older, you know. So I didn't feel everything the same that he did, you know. But this was something that I remembered about him that kind of moved me at the moment. And I wanted to share with you and people on the album. And it's called New Boots. My father wore his boots till his boots, they had no sole. The sides were rough and faded, and the toe might have a hole. And he might replace the laces when they got too short for tying. And I told my dad that new boots were the thing he should try. I put a new box on the closet shelf, held the new boots, but Dad couldn't bring himself to lose the old ones. He said they suited him just fine. He said that holding on to old things was like holding on to time. My father wore his boots like my father wore his clothes. My mother mended ribs, and my mother patched the holes. And my father had his father's tools, simple, strong, and steel. And my father, he seldom hugged me, but I know just how he'd feel. I put a new box on the closet shelf. It held the new boots, but Dad couldn't bring himself to lose the old ones. He said they suited him just fine. He said that holding on to old things was like holding on to time. He had a gift at saving money, but he was bad at spending it. There was good food on the table for my mother and us kids, and we'd drive around the country in that old red camper bus. It wasn't things he bought us, it was the experience. And I put a new box on the closet shelf. It held the new boots, but Dad, he couldn't bring himself to lose the old ones. He said they suited him just fine. He said that holding on to old things was like holding on to time. I was thinking just this morning, I need a new pair of jeans. And I thought about my father and a lot of little things. About the day he left us, it was not quite in the fall. I remember walking through his house, taking it all. And just inside the front door, his old boots against the wall. I opened up the closet door, and this is what I saw. I saw a new box on the closet shelf. It held the new boots. Dad, he couldn't bring himself to lose the old ones. He said they We're going to do one more song from the album, and I thought we would do a little experiment. And I would bring up, in the audience today are two of my favorite Italian musicians who I have played with at different times. We've got Marco Fecchio. Later in the show, he and I will do the song that we recorded together on the Gone album, the album just before this new one, where we recorded Eric Taylor's song together. And that's really how we connected. And Paolo has been sort of my guide in the past around Italy, teaching me how to drive in Italy, and teaching me where to park and how to avoid trouble.
Sì, non capito, avete capito, no? Dai. Vabbè, dai, dai, Paolo Ercoli e Marco Fecchio. Ha suonato il suo album, Paolo è la guida, oltre ad aver suonato con lui è la sua guida in Italia, ha insegnato anche a guidare per le strade italiane.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. I was turning the wrong.
I didn't teach you how to tune.
No.
Maybe I did.
Okay. All right. Here's a light joke. You want to translate a joke? Okay.
Joke.
So, in the old days, before we had these fancy electric tuners that go on the guitars, I asked some of my older musician friends, maybe a few years older than me, who played before we had these. And I said, how did you tune your guitar? What did you do before you had this?
Chiaro? Come facevano prima, diceva ad accordare che non c'era quello, diciamo, come facevano?
And they said, we just played out of tune.
Semplicemente suonavamo fuori, non accordate.
So,
Out of tune.
yeah. This song is called 20 Years of Shadows. And it is, again, another of the journey songs from the past, Indiana, love, to Oklahoma. And realizing that I still have land, I have my father's land in Indiana. And I'm living in the little house in Oklahoma. But I go back because the land is inside me, you know, and I must go back. But it is a long, long, long drive. In Italy, Paolo, what would it be? From Indiana to Oklahoma is 12 hours. 12 hours. Where would we be from here
Sicilia.
to the south?
Sicilia.
Dipende dal traffico.
Sicily.
The bottom of the toe?
Yeah.
The bottom of the toe. Yeah. So once a month I drive to the bottom of the toe and stay for 5 days and drive back. Okay, so we will try this. These two have never played this song before. Maybe they've never heard it before. We will see how everyone does, okay? But that's what music is about. It's in the key of B.
Non l'ho mai suonata prima.
And we go around the same thing 4 times, guys. 4 times. So you can listen, you can even listen to the first time if you want, or 2 times. Okay, you'll get it. I mean. 20 years of shadows, looking for your light on the streets of Chicago, walking day and night. Sometimes your boots they special part of the evening because I'm going to walk up the stage and go back and watch while the three of these do something they've never done before for 2 or 3 songs, okay? Please give them a warm welcome.
Ok, adesso mi fate ok, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. This is a song about a motorcycle daredevil in England many years ago. He tried to jump over 27 Rolls Royces. He wanted to be the Evel Knievel of England, and you'll find out what happens. Okay. In the kitchen, rattling pans and the baby cries. On the TV news, somebody dies. He was a crazy biker in a motorcycle riding daredevil show. Mary England, 27 years old, trying to break a record, jumping over cars. He was a champ. He fell a little bit short. He hit the ramp. A song from my old friend Townes Van Zandt.
Yeah.
It's in C minor. C minor, it's got one chord.
It's got one chord, C minor. So y'all are in the band now. It's a song by an old Texas blues player named Mance Lipscomb. Okay, here we go. On the 14th day of April, in the year 1912, the Titanic struck an iceberg, and it's almost too sad to tell. God moves. God moves. God moves on the water, and the people had to kneel and pray. When the Titanic started sinking, they lowered lifeboats all around. They said, save the women and children, even if the men go down. God moves. God moves on the water, and the people had to kneel and pray. And when the lifeboats made the landing, the women looked around, said, look out on the ocean, look at our men have drowned. God moves. God moves on the water, and the people had to kneel and pray. Take it away. Sleeping 'cause he was tired, but early woke to such an awful fright, 'cause the men's gunshot had fired. God moves. God moves. God moves on the water, and the people had to kneel and pray. Was a millionaire with plenty of money to spare. And when the Titanic started sinking, he could not pay his fare. God moves. God moves. Oh, God moves on the water, and the people had to kneel and pray. On the 14th day of April, in the year 1912, the Titanic struck an iceberg. It's almost too sad to tell. God moves. God moves. and the people had to kneel and pray. Groceries.
One water for now. Thank you. Sure, thanks.
Did you have fun, Tim?
I did. Thank you. I had fun. I had fun, Paolo. Listening, right? Yeah.
We had fun.
Okay. Yeah. That was the fun part of the night, right? Okay.
Back to work.
Back to work now. We are going to do. Stand up. Back to work. Back to work. We're going to do two songs about American Indians.
Farà due canzoni su American Indians.
The first one is my song, which is called "Cover These Bones." Cover these bones. Cover these bones. Bones?
Copri queste ossa.
Bones. Okay.
Copriamo le ossa.
Some of the words in this song are taken from one of America's greatest leaders. And this leader was an Indian, a great chief who lived in Indiana, named Tecumseh. And Tecumseh,
Le parole di queste canzoni sono prese da un grande leader indiano che vive in Indiana, che si chiama, hanno capito?
Tecumseh had a vision that as all of the white people started to come, further and further west into America, he had the vision that if he could unite all the tribes, because there were so many tribes in every state, so many small groups of tribes, if they could all come together and stand against the people coming in, there was a chance that they could hold on to their land. And he traveled from Indiana down to Florida, he traveled west, he traveled east, and met with so many great chiefs. And it came close, but it didn't happen. Tecumseh died in the Battle of Fallen Timbers in Ohio. And from that point on, it was downhill for the hopes of the Indians. And he met...
Lui aveva chiesto a tutte le tribù di unirsi, no? Contro quelli che stavano arrivando, ma questo tentativo praticamente arrivano ma fallisce e inizia lì la discesa degli indiani.
He had some meetings. They met on the plains or in villages with some of the American soldiers, generals, and the general scouts, the people that worked, the privates, took notes and they wrote down the words that Tecumseh spoke to the white generals. And we have a record of those words. And so some of those words I use in this song, Cover These Bones.
The words are of the Indian chief.
Yes. Yeah.
Alcuni generali hanno praticamente tradotto, hanno preso nota di queste parole sono confluite in questa canzone, nel capo indiano.
Take this earth and cover these bones. This path I walk alone. Close my eyes, but I still see all the things you've done to me. Hope to lie in sacred ground. Feel the sun come shining down. Hold the wings of a holy bird. Circle round this piece of earth. Your people came few at first, guns in hand and woven shirts. Around the fire we smoked the pipe. You gave us whiskey, we gave you wine. You cut the trees did die. Built the roads for wagons wide. You taught us how to live in
I'm gonna do one. Yeah. Okay. This is another Indian song. This one is written by my friend Eric Taylor and Marco's friend Eric Taylor.
Un'altra Indian song.
Ma in italiano devi tradurre, no?
Sì, Indian song, una canzone indiana.
Eric Taylor.
Eric Taylor è il nome.
So I met Eric Taylor many, many years ago, and he was a powerful force of nature, we say. Force of nature. He was a big man who you did not want to cross, okay? But he was a masterful songwriter and guitar player. And Eric Taylor called me one day, 10 years ago,
Eric Taylor l'ha chiamato, era una forza natura, ha chiamato 10
and he said, "Hey Tim, how you doing, man? I like that song of yours, Cover These Bones. I'd like to put it on my next record." And I was honored that Eric Taylor wanted to record Cover These Bones, and he did it. And he did it in his own way, didn't he, Marco? Yeah. Which is beautiful. You know, you can have a song interpreted. You know, I did one version, he did a very different version, but they're both valuable, you know. And it was a great honor for me to have Eric do that. I think in part because of that, and because I knew that he also had a great love of the American Indians, he wrote this song. I said I would record this song that we're going to do. And Marco played guitar on this one. And Eric Taylor's widow, because Eric Taylor died about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Eric Taylor's widow, Susan, sang the harmony on this song too. So it was an honor to have both of them record it with me. And
James also.
and James Gilmer, who was the drummer for Eric Taylor, also played on this record. The short story of this song is that it happens. Yeah.
Allora, ho capito qua. Proviamo a fare un tema. Allora, praticamente lo riassumo, no? Eric Taylor ha sentito la sua canzone prima, Cover the Bones, e lui ha avuto l'onore, un grande stimatore di Eric Taylor, uno dei più grandi, di averlo, l'ha presa per un disco di Eric Taylor, interpretata alla sua maniera. Okay? Eric Taylor è mancato 2 anni fa, se non ricordo bene quello che ha detto, e anche la vedova di Eric Taylor aveva. Giusto? Susan.
Yeah. And the story of this one is, it is 100 years later from my song, Cover These Bones, which was about the early 1800s. Now, 100 years later, further west, because we've moved all the Indians to the west, 100 years later in the early 1900s, we have tried to break up all the tribes in America. And we take the young children away from the parents, we put them on a reservation for Indian children. We put them in a school to teach them to speak only English, to forget their native language. Eric writes about some beautiful lines to me are the children grew up, you know, in the woods and the plains, either in their bare feet or in moccasins, leather moccasins. And when they go to school, the white schools, they make them wear shoes and learn to tie their shoes. And it breaks your heart a bit. But this is called Joseph Cross, who was a man who was raised in that school for Indian boys.
Cioè praticamente dopo 100 anni, no, dalla famosa episodio che raccontavamo prima, cioè le tribù si sono disunite, le hanno disunite e hanno obbligato gli indiani a fare sostanzialmente le scuole dei bianchi, obbligandoli a imparare solo l'inglese, eccetera, perdendo un po' le loro tradizioni, giusto? Ok.
Word came from the cafe that the old man was ill. his shoes. And he cried the night his grandpa died. Told him in a vision, stay close to the ways of the rattlesnake, stay close to the ways of the grizzly. He has traveled the sacred circle. He has traveled on a white man's train. He's killed for hunger his buffalo brother. He's killed in anger for a white man's name. In the 1919 chill of December, the bear and the rattler lie coiled, sleeping, hardly breathing. It's a penny for the kitchen boy to run and give Sister Lydia. Tell her that old Indian, he's sleeping, he's hardly breathing. He has traveled the sacred circle. He has traveled on a white man's train. He's killed for hunger his buffalo brother. He's killed in anger for a white man's name. Some said it just weren't right to give him a white man's funeral. Some said that just as soon as not, float him on down the river. But no one touched the ring or said a thing about his chest, where it looked like a bear had ripped him and a rattler kissed his cheek. He has traveled the sacred circle. He has traveled on a white man's train. He's killed for hunger his buffalo brother. He's killed in anger in a white man's name. And his name was Joseph Cross. He was raised on a mission, just one of 100 Indian boys who wouldn't tie his shoes. And he cried the night his grandpa died and told them in a vision, stay close to the ways of the rattlesnake, stay close to the ways of the grizzly. Hi, Paolo on guitar.
Paolo. Come up and do one with me, Paolo.
Last year, Paolo has done maybe 3 or 4 Italian tours with me. And last year, I called him up and said, Paolo, would you come and tour in Germany and the Netherlands with me?
Chiaro cioè è andato là. L'ha chiamato per andare in Germania e Olanda a fare il tour con lui la Svizzera. Penso di essere andato, Paolo. Sì, è andato, confermo.
So this is one we did together last year from the Gone album.
Dell'ultimo album, esatto.
It's a song called Laurel Pearl.
Laurel Pearl, bellissima, grazie. Dall'ultimo album fa Laurel Pearl, che si chiama così, Laurel Pearl. Dall'ultimo album Gone, l'ultimo album Gone.
Ma è penultimo.
Penultimo. Ho detto ultimo.
Penultimo.
Mai sentito.
Non fa. A Dream. A Dream. È il Dream. Non lo fa. Primo pezzo.
Scusate, intanto grazie a Roberto Sasso che sta riprendendo. Un altro grande amico del lontano.
Walk the beach for a sign of what to do, what to find. It's out of reach, it's out of sight. A little hand to hold on tight. Here I saw everything, dragonflies and flowers in the spring. Had it all, a mother and a father, family and friends, and then a baby brother. You were named for the loveliest of trees, and the luminous gem in the sea. We're all just a breath in this world. Close your eyes, let the mysteries unfurl. You'll always be our girl, Laurel Pearl. You made us laugh, you made us sing. You were in love with everything. Your smile is big as the whole wide world. So much joy, one little girl. You made a mark, you wove a spell. Every life you touched became a deeper well. It was a gift to feel your spark. How a child can open up a heart.
All right, I got it.
Un applauso a Paolo Ercoli. Altro grande amico.
The last two songs are honoring the musicians that I have loved over the years, okay? And this first song was my musical hero since I was a little boy. I would listen to my mother and father's record player, and I had the record, I still have the record. Came in 1964, so I was very little in 1964. Yeah, 4 years old, exactly. Yep. And anyway, the man's name is Ramblin' Jack Elliott. And Ramblin' Jack Elliott is still alive. He's 92 years old. And I met him when I was 24, so I've known him for 40 years. And he embodied everything about music that I would hope to accomplish, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Le ultime due canzoni che fa sono i suoi due eroi musicali. La prima che fa è di Ramblin' Jack Elliott, che lui ascoltava quando aveva 4 anni e l'ha incontrato a 24 anni e oggi Ramblin' Jack Elliott è ancora vivo a 92 anni e per lui Ramblin' Jack Elliott è tutto ciò che per lui è la musica, quello che vuole lui dalla musica, insomma.
Some people called him the son of Woody Guthrie.
Qualcuno lo dicono che è il figlio di Woody Guthrie,
The father of Bob Dylan.
il padre di Bob Dylan, una bella attività.
And both of these things are kind of true. Bob Dylan, in his autobiography, the book that Bob wrote, called Ramblin' Jack Elliott the king of the folk singers.
Bob Dylan nella sua autobiografia ha detto che Ramblin' è il re dei folk singers, quindi dei cantanti folk. Così.
So it took me 30 years to write this song. Everything in this song is true.
30 anni a scrivere.
Johnny Cash is dead and gone. The wayfaring stranger, been away too long. The contrary farmer, hitching up his mule. There's been a change of plans, you see. Cavalry's coming through. Someone grabbed a hammer. Must have been Big John. Skinny Pete is hollering, gonna strap his banjo. In his teepee, playing spoons and balls. Dylan's got the I'm soaring Jack. Tea with lemon, said old Tom. Tea with lemon, Jack. Somewhere near the ocean, in a little house that's red, Jack is drawing pictures of sailboats in his head. One day he will launch that ship and sail off into the sun. And on the beach will stand everyone he's touched by. Them are the things he's One more song. Thank you so very much for coming out tonight. It's good to see some faces I've not seen in a few years, so it's good to see you come back, and nice to meet new people as well. If you're interested, we do have the last 5 CDs I've made have been released on Appaloosa Records, so the booklets are all in Italian, which I think is a beautiful thing, both for me and for the audience. So if you're interested, I will be happy in the back to share those with you. Okay?
Poi i CD di Tim Grimm saranno disponibili lì, si porta lui.
Con traduzione.
Bisogna comprare, sono uscite. They don't buy the CD, they
Okay, exactly. They can go out. They can go out.
Buy or die.
Yeah. No. But this last one is an honor to 3. Ramblin' Jack is 92. He is still playing his guitar and singing. But this is a song about 3 friends that we lost during the pandemic. And one was Sergio's good friend David Olney, and one was Eric Taylor, whose song I sang with Marco playing about the boys having to tie their shoes, Joseph Cross. And the third one was a man who never came to Europe, but he was a great American songwriter named Michael Smith, who wrote a famous song called The Dutchman that I wish he had sung in Holland, but he never had the chance. So they were all about 10 years older than me, and I looked up to them, but I was able to travel and tour with all of them at different times, or record with them, and they were a big loss that I realized during the pandemic, and I wrote this as a tribute and an honor.
Durante Gone è sulla pandemia, no? E lui ha omaggiato appunto Eric Taylor, Elliot, e l'ultimo è Schmidt, che era un olandese, con tutti ha fatto il tour, scusate, e l'ultima canzone è dedicata a lui.
Each of you were jesters, but none of you were fools. You can sing the world its beauty by breaking all the rules. And those of us that follow you have mountains still to climb, and the path we walk is lonelier but easier in time. Let us go to the banks of the ocean. If it can happen to you, it can happen to me. We're headed for Jerusalem tomorrow. Michael Smith, Eric Taylor, and David Olney. I put this pen to paper, my hands on this guitar, and I think of all the places we've been to near and far. Smith, Eric Taylor, David Sergio, thank you so much. Thank you guys for having us.
Dream.
All right.
We go can dream. Dream. Dream.
Why not? Why not? You're all in the room. You're all in the room.
Dream. No.
Okay. So now we go to Oklahoma, where I live most of the time when I'm not driving to Indiana. Oklahoma was the center of something called the Great Dust Bowl.
Oklahoma è il centro di The Great Dust Bowl,
The
che è un fenomeno aereo.
Dust Bowl was the time in the 1920s and 1930s when
Una tempesta di sabbia, tipo, era una tempesta di sabbia che il 19 ha fatto disastro.
when 30s, early 1940s,
1930s,
yeah.
okay.
And it stopped raining. No rain fell from the sky for maybe two or 3 years, and all the farms, the ground, the dirt became dust.
Quindi non è piovuto per 2 o 3 anni, siccità, e quindi tutto il terreno è diventato polveroso.
And the farmers had no way to make a living, and the banks came in and repossessed the land, took their houses away from them, and it was a terrible time in American history. And what they heard, all the farmers and their families heard, go to California. Because in California, they're growing peaches and oranges, and there's work for everyone. So the families packed everything they owned and packed them up. You've maybe seen pictures. Packed them up on top of their cars and in the back, and they drove to California. And they got to California, and there were big signs on the road saying, "Go away. We don't want you."
No.
Yes.
When they came back?
Yes.
Come back.
They didn't want these poor people dressed in dusty clothes and these junk cars. They said, "Go away." And so they had to build camps all around the border of California for these families to live in. And it was a hard time.
Evidentemente con questa siccità gli agricoltori sono andati in crisi, non avevano più fieno, più niente, le banche gli hanno requisito le case, loro si sono spostati verso la California, immaginando gli alberi da frutto la California, ma quando sono arrivati in California, dice, immaginate queste famiglie che si sono, cioè è stata una cosa epica, no? Piene di bagagli, proprio come si dice, un esodo, arrivano in California trovano il cartello "Go away".
The most famous road, Route 66 was the highway from Oklahoma to California, also called the People's Highway, because all the people went on it. 66, Will Rogers Highway, down 66, people go from the back roads, out of the Dust Bowl. We're all rolling in search of home. Some people walk, some people stumble, some people drive their fancy cars, some people ride the westbound freight train. Folks are coming from near and far.
of justice in a promised land. We don't want your handouts, mister. We don't want no charity. We want our work to stay together and pick through land of free. Yeah, pick through land of
Cesare, se non fa drill non esce vivo, diglielo. Se non fa il drill.
Non si può, siamo già over the...
Vai, ti vuoi che ci senta.